The empty sheet takes about 4K disk space on this system. When a resistor symbol is placed on the sheet and the sheet is saved, the file size grows by about 1.5 kilobytes, because a copy of the symbol is made in the sheet file. For 4 more resistors placed, that's 4 more copies, another 6K on the file size. Symbols placed on the sheet this way are also called embedded symbols. They are full-fledged group objects with all attributes copied. After removing all resistors from the sheet and saving the file size shrinks back to the initial 4K. Most of the time, resistors within a sheet are pretty much the same symbols, except for minor variations in some of the attributes and floater placement. It is possible to tell sch-rnd to store only one copy of the symbol in a so-called sheet local symbol library, and use group references from the sheet instead of full copies. This adds some complexity to the workflow, but has many benefits beyond saving on disk space. If symbol auto-pasting to local lib is enabled, any symbol placed on the sheet from the buffer is checked in the sheet local symbol lib. If it is not already in there, a copy is saved there. Otherwise, the already existing copy is retrieved from there. Then a group reference object is placed on the sheet, pointing back to the sheet local instance. After placing 4 copies of the resistor this way and saving the file size is only slightly larger than an empty sheet plus 1 resistor. Placing 1 more copy and saving shows that the increase per placement is below 200 bytes. Looking at an instance using the property editor, it looks different than the full-fledged copy. It is a group ref object instead of being a group object, and this object has only a few of the attributes. The attribute editor shows how group ref attributes work. The usual concrete model attribute list is split into 2 sections. The bottom section, under the referenced group header, is the list of attributes of the copy in the sheet local lib. This has all attributes as copied from the symbol library. The top section above the header is only a few attributes, the ones that we expect to make a local difference on the given instance on the sheet. When a new attribute is added, it is placed in the per instance section, which means only this one instance will have the new attribute, and the real symbol in the sheet local lib is not affected. Thus, this modification on R1 is not visible on another instance. The same goes for any modification of existing attributes in the top per instance section. An attempt to modify an attribute from the bottom section will automatically make a copy of the attribute in the top section, so the attribute editor open for an instance will never modify the central sheet local lib copy of the symbol. Modifications are done only on the group ref instance. This way, the assignment of the value 1K on R1 did not affect R2 or the other instances. In the library window, a new subtree appears on the top of the list, Local. This represents the sheet local lib. It has a single item in it, the resistor we placed references to. Clicking the resistor in Local presents the local lib buttons on the bottom of the dialog. The first button looks up all references placed on the sheet and presents them in a tree view. It is possible to edit the attributes of the symbol in the sheet local lib using the Edit Local Lib Entry button. Modifications made here will affect any reference instance on the sheet that did not override the given attribute. For example, changing the value attribute to 4K7 will set this value instead of NA on all resistors except for R1. This is because R1's instance overrides the attribute from within the group reference to 1K. The order of operations in time does not matter. What matters is whether a given instance sets the attribute or not. It is possible to refresh the selected sheet local lib symbol from the external library. This performs a normal symbol by name lookup in the library, ignoring the local subtree, and replaces the symbol in the sheet local lib with the first symbol it finds in the external libs. In our case, this restores the value attribute to NA from 4K7, because that was our only modification to the resistor symbol in the sheet local lib. Finally, the Remove button will remove the central copy of the symbol from the sheet local lib. As a side effect, it also converts any reference instances on the sheet into a full-fledged copy of the symbol, with instance attribute overrides rendered into the copy. In other words, these symbols are converted back to embedded, as if we had just placed them without the sheet local lib enabled. This shows in the property editor. The object is a group again, and on the file size increase after a save.